for us to be able to get a real clear picture of everything that unfolded from the time that Jesus entered into the city of Jerusalem to the time that he went to the cross, to the time that he rose from the dead. You have to read all the Gospels. You can't just read one and say, well, that's the whole essence of it. No, because the different writers gives us different perspectives of things and one tells us something that the other doesn't tell us. And so in order to be able to fully see the whole picture, you have to have read all of the Gospels. And that's something that I've been doing since 2009. The Lord spoke to me very, very clearly about being on a consistent daily reading of the Scripture. And my readings takes me through the Gospels over and over and over again. Every time I go through, I see something new that I didn't see or understand or comprehend before. But the thing that I have become aware of is that from the time that Jesus entered into the city to the time that they came to arrest him, he did a lot of ministry. There was a lot of things that happened that are just kind of mentioned, sort of. For instance, Jesus went to the temple, and he went there daily and more than once a day. And he went there and he would teach, and the crowds would come. The people would just come to hear him preach, and then he was doing miracles and things were happening there. And here these scribes and Pharisees and these different ones who they'd already convened their council that they determined they were going to kill him. And but that's when he was up there in the Judean hills and the areas of Galilee. And now here he is right on their doorstep, right there in Jerusalem. And I'm just going to use this old-fashioned way of saying it. He was just stealing their thunder. I mean, here it is, the Passover season. All the people had thronged into this city. And usually this is the time when those who are the hierarchy of religion, they were the ones that were setting the stage. And they were the ones who would be getting the attention. But instead, here was Jesus, just being loved by the crowds and the multitudes. And they were just in awe of the things that he was doing, but the people who were in charge, the hierarchies up there, they were threatened, they were jealous, and they were determined, we got to do something about this. We got to make this thing change, because he is way too powerful and he's way too popular with the masses. And so they decided that they would have to escalate things. And so the plot continues. And of course we know they found their man, a man named Judas, who Jesus himself washed that man's feet, knowing that he was the one that was going to betray him. And yes, being betrayed is what happened. But yet all this time, God, the master planner, is allowing it to happen. Just remember, for you, for me, for all of humanity. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.